Welcome townies. Today we are going over all the things that we currently know and some speculations that I have about Traitors in Salem as of the 30th of May 2021. To begin with, Traitors in Salem exists within the Town of Salem universe, but looks to improve upon the previous Town of Salem gameplay by refining the game design and increasing the interactivity for players. We currently have several characters and roles that have already been released, with some of the characters being based on roles that we have seen before in Town of Salem. Them being the Werewolf, Vampire, Witch, Plague Bearer, and Potion Master, with a couple of new faces being the Pilgrim and the Elder. There will only be two factions, so roles that were previously neutral in Town of Salem will now be a part of the Traitor faction. The other notable change is that there is no Mafia faction, so every evil role will fall under Traitor. This will allow for games to end smoothly, as in Town of Salem neutral roles could often end up as kingmakers and cause the game to end in unfun or frustrating ways. As for roles, we know that there have been 6 confirmed roles and several suggested roles. However, I will only talk about the roles that have been explicitly revealed by Blank Media Games. We have the Vigilante, which functions much the same as it does in Town of Salem, where they may shoot someone, but if they get it wrong, they will die from guilt also. The Lookout, who has the ability Eagle Eye, which allows them to increase their vision radius for a short period of time. The Poisoner, who is able to kill with a delay. The Disguiser, who can take a sample from a player and then disguise themselves as that player for a short time. The Sheriff, who is able to check a player and see if they are a town member or a traitor. And finally, the Wraith, which has the ability to go invisible, however, cannot kill while invisible. Along with the most recent role reveal, we were teased with some very cool concept art, and some very interesting text along with it that said, these NPCs aren't just for aesthetics, and play an integral part in how the town wins the game. Lastly, before I start sharing my thoughts and opinions, there will be some chaos modes, similar to that of Town of Salem. However, these modes shall be utilizing the newfound freedom of movement of the game especially. These modes are currently listed as Capture the Flag and Cops and Robbers, with more to hopefully come. So, with all that said, I'm going to start speculating. I'm going to speak a bit more freewheel now, a bit less forced and narratory. But I see that the game, it seems like it will have very heavy similarities with both Evil and Among Us. But leaning more towards Among Us, where I noticed that it says in the Lookout's description that its ability increases the vision radius, which is something that is very common within Among Us, well, not common, but it is a thing in Among Us. So it looks like it'll be a top-down sort of game, the same style as Among Us, but from the concept art that was shown of this tavern, it also seems that when you enter a building, you won't be able to see outside of the building, and no one will be able to see in the building unless they enter that building, so on and so forth. The other thing is, in the Wraith's description, it says that they will be able to use the teleporters around the map. So that also suggests that it's like Among Us's vents, or Evil's underground tunnels. Another thing is the NPCs in the tavern. It states that the NPCs are integral to the town winning, which is a very interesting thing to say, because there's a lot of ways that they could take this, right? Like, are they going to have it so that the NPCs see things? Are they going to give information? What are they going to do with these NPCs that make them so important to a town win? Or at least worth the wording of integral. Lastly, I just wanted to touch up on the characters, because we see that there's the Werewolf, Witch, Vampire, Plague Bearer, Potion Master, Pilgrim, Elder, all these characters that are going to be the thing, or not the things, but I suppose the people that we play as in the game. But I also kind of hope that we do see all of their roles implemented, because they are very interesting roles, I think. The neutral killing roles are much more interesting than the Mafia roles. At least in the current version of Town of Salem. Majority of the Mafia roles are very straightforward, very simple, very basic. But yeah. I hope that we have many different traitors, and that way we can have a lot of variety within our game. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. For all your Traitors in Salem wants and needs, I am Avercy, and I will be back with another update as soon as I know what's up.